The Soviet Union, or USSR, was the largest country in the world and had one of the powerful armies. But how did it collapse? I mean, how did one powerful country just dissolve in just 2 years? Okay, before I'm going to explain every weakness that USSR had, we need to know how USSR started in the first place and what country it really was. First of all, let's talk about this guy, Vladimir Lenin. He was a revolutionary and later politician, and he wrote a book by Karl Marx called Capital. When he read that book, he was interested in Marxism, a socio-political theory which basically says that society develops and capitalist society gives way to socialist society and then communist society. I mean, weird theory, but Lenin was in that. And he thought that Russia needs it because it's his home country. Now, let's fast forward, and in 1917 happened Russian Revolution led by Lenin and a group called Bolsheviks. And in that revolution, they replaced the Nicholas II government with a Soviet Socialist Republic, which later was renamed to USSR. And in the year 1922, the USSR was formed, becoming the first communist country. But in the meanwhile, let me explain what is socialism and communism. So, socialism is ideology where every human is equal, like everyone has same amount of salary. But there was a catch. When everyone thought they are gonna be rich, but they are actually gonna be all equally poor. And if you are richer than your neighbor, you're gonna be deported, like in Siberia. And communism is ideology that everything that you own is owned by everyone. Now, Lenin is dead. He had multiple strokes, probably from gunshots, in 1918. And now Stalin is in power, becoming most ruthless dictator of all times, and happened World War II, and it ended. Meanwhile, average Soviet citizen was poor, I mean real poor, and most of them lived in small apartments. And if you wanted meat or bread, or even any food, good luck, because you had to wait in the long lines, and when you arrived to the store, it was empty. I mean, really harsh life was out there, mostly because government didn't have money to support it. And if that wasn't bad already, many people were deported to Siberia and died there, or on the way there. Approximately 1.5 million people died, and people didn't want that kind of government, but they were scared. When Stalin died, Georgy Malenko came into power, and then came Nikita Khrushchev, and so on. Till Mikhail Gorbachev came into power. He was kinda younger than previous leaders, and he saw that people were unhappy, and he wanted to change that. Well, actually previous leaders wanted to, but didn't succeed. And oh boy, he did a lot of changes. First of all, he lessened tensions between USSR and made bunch of reforms until people weren't so afraid of the government and started revolting. Mikhail was removed and an emergency government was formed. But that plan didn't succeed, and on December 25, 1991, which became best Christmas gift for USA, the Soviet hammer and sickle flag lover for the last time over the Kremlin. Reasons are pretty simple. First of all, government was pretty poor due to spending most of its money on military, so it can compete with USA. But because of this, quality of life worsened and food was lacking. Also ethnic tensions like in the Baltics where they wanted independence and even formed large human chain which stretched across Baltics from Tallinn to Vilnius. And large parts of Eastern Europe started leaving Soviet influence, like East Germany and Poland. Even though USSR collapsed decades ago, many post-Soviet countries still recover from Soviet collapse, and most of its civilians live in the Soviet-built homes, use Soviet cars. I mean, USSR impact was huge. I could just go on and on. For example, North Korea uses USSR weapons still, and we go to space thanks to USSR. But the reason why I'm telling you that is because even the bad things give us good things. Even Hitler gave us good things. Well, something gave us. Just know that you may still use or watch things made or invented USSR. And even though it collapsed decades ago, its legacy is still among us.